final thing that I'm going to get into is that Jimmy Whisper went on, and it's the last thing. He was, he said regarding pure socialism, I guess it depends on what you mean by pure. It's not really a guess. Pure is pure. Pure water, H2O. It's pure water. It's not a definition of, well, okay, pure water, but it might be a little grain of sand. No, it's pure water. It's pure socialism. It's 100% socialism. Nothing else involved. Just that. That's all it is. I'm going to be honest with you. You can click away if you want, like some others have, but I don't know what pure 100% unmitigated socialism would even look like. I can look at anything. I could research any socialist country that is successful. I can. The problem is that doesn't tell me how living that would be. Would I be able to buy the toys and stuff that I want? Would I be able to buy the new software that I would need? A new computer when I desire? Would I be able to, or if not buy, would I be able to attain, achieve, earn, or something in a very short, reasonable amount of time, somewhere of now, a week from now, or a month from now? That's what I mean. Capitalism, 100% pure capitalism, is almost where we are. We're almost there. And as you even said, it sucks. It can start a country, but it can't sustain a country. Because capitalism, you know what? Jimmy Whisper, you really put into perspective what capitalism is. I'm not a capitalist. I've never liked capitalism. I've never liked it. I didn't know why I didn't like it. I just knew when everything was about capital, it was who has the most money, why do they have the most money, and who is bowing down to those with the most money. That pissed me off. Just maybe egotistically, I'm not sure. I just didn't like the thought of somebody having something that everybody else needs, desires, or wants, and everyone has to cow down to that person. I didn't like that because that gives too much power to one person. And honestly, power is best left to those who don't want it. And would I want all of that power? No. Just to be honest with you, I don't want that level of responsibility. However, if I had to take it to get things better, that would happen. I mean, that's kind of how I see it. And people today are so divided. To get a socialist economy would be difficult at the very least. And I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to hide myself from it. I'd rather be a socialist, and that's pretty much where I am. Capitalism just pisses me off. Socialism, I'm like, haven't tried it, haven't seen it, haven't lived in it, but I see that through socialism, we have, I'm going to speak on the way it was intended or believed, okay? And that's going to have to come from a rose-tinted glasses kind of thing from when I was a kid, mixed with what I know today. So socialism, what I found was great due to socialism allows us to have health insurance. Capitalism makes health insurance unaffordable, drives it up, and then you make all these rules so no one can be healthy. And only the wealthy can be healthy. So the unwashed masses must go away. You have police officers, the police force, and whatnot. That's socialism. We all pay in. We pay the police their salary, their wages, and for their equipment, and they protect us. They serve us. They make sure we're okay. They handle disputes that we should not handle. However, in this oligarchy, now we pay the police to beat on us. Now, if you're into BDSM and that's really what you like, fine. That's cool, you know, but not everybody likes that. And nobody wants to be forced to pay somebody that they should look almost up to as a protector, a gladiator that will save us, and instead see someone's going to beat the living hell out of us. I mean, that's what we got. And socialism with firefighters. Okay, that's great. We pay them to go and put out flames, to rescue people that may not be in a burning building or structure. They help rescue people from cars. They are there to do a lot of things. That's what firefighters do. It's socialism. We pay in, they help. We, the community, pay them to help the community. However, capitalism, especially abusive capitalism, takes away from that, defunds them, and they need to have 2 or 3 jobs, as well as be on call for the fire department. And they go through extensive training to make sure that they can save lives and their own. So they're defunded thanks to crony capitalism. So we've got a lot of socialist programs. I could go on and on with our socialist programs. How about one that affects the people the most that they see all the time? We'll go with that. We'll go with the streets, the roads, the highways and byways and whatnot. All right. They're all, torn up, potholes and stuff. And your car gets jacked up. You could go to the city, but how long is that going to take before they say, you know what? You've proven it. Because of that unavoidable pothole, you broke your axle or blew a tire or dented your rim. We should pay for it. Nope. You're going to have to do that out of pocket. They're going to make sure you do it out of pocket. So the city itself, due to crony capitalism, I almost said capitalism, but that it takes away. And you got to evade potholes so that you don't have to go and get a $200 repair that you can't afford. And in trying to avoid potholes, you know what that does? That dramatically increases the likelihood of a severe accident. You're going 45 trying to weave around, 3 foot wide potholes or whatnot, gapes and gashes in the street. You're going to hit somebody or something. It's literally a matter of time. The law of averages mean you're going to get jacked up. So socialist programs help. We're supposed to buy it. Our tax is supposed to repair the roads, repair the, and all this other stuff. It's not really going into infrastructure. All that goes towards the military so that the defense contractors can get what they want. That's the problem with it. I want to, just in case those don't read it, I want to read what he wrote because I thought it was really awesome and it helped me understand. Let's see if I can find it here. Because this is under the video of which one is this? Responding to Jimmy Whisper about being POTUS. It's under that. Currently has 6 views, 2 comments. Jimmy and mine. That's what I got. I haven't refreshed the page in a while. I've been keeping it up to look at this. So what he says is, I'll just read the whole thing. I am not anti-capitalist. I am not dogmatically opposed to things. I am for reasons. I am correctly addressed as pro-socialism because that is what I currently advocate for. Capitalism is a good system for developing a nation, but is counter to sustaining developed nations. Socialism is required for that. The end goal of capital is to expand globally. Those globalists, they blabber about is really private capital doing what it is interested of itself. Capitalism will not allow itself to be replaced and will do anything to remain I think I'm saying this word, hegemony. Purity, as I define it, is inevitable because they simply don't allow for each other to exist in the end. Capitalism will fail by definition at some point because it is ungainly, unsustainable, and is pushing us to extinction through its inherent value system, which is to make profit. Nothing to do with what we humans tend to value, also known as life. If that's what you consider purity, I'm sorry, knowing all that I know, it is inherent. You don't see feudalism today, do you? It was replaced by the next stage. So here's the thing. First of all, it ticked me off when you said you're just sorry. Why would you regret knowing all that you know? Why would you regret it? The only thing you need to regret is knowing what you know, and that knowledge has been false. That means that somebody has lied. You gained that information and you've been a victim of a lie. So as I would tell anyone that I care about, I'm going to just say it to you in general. Don't fucking apologize for the shit that you know. Only apologize if you willfully went with the information knowing better was out there. If you know better information is out there and you don't seek it because you just don't want to ruin what you've already believed, then you fucked up. That's how that go. And I don't want, and whatever you know, I don't mind you sharing. I'd like for you to share. I'd like for you to do your own YouTube videos and stuff, because the more information that's out there, the more ideals and ideas are out there, then the readier it is for those that are seeking it. Even if it takes them a while, they'll find it. They'll find you. They'll hear you. And then by that, you will make this place better. We need positive voices for positive change. And you doing that is why I would push it. That's why I push anyone that has a positive voice. If you were espousing racism and stuff, then I'd be like, I really wouldn't even be doing this. I would probably put down in the comment section something like fuck you or get fucked or something like that. I don't know. Or is that really you? Do you really want to hate somebody that hasn't done anything to you? Really? You know, I might say something like that. So look, you are a pro-socialism, and you know what? I am too. To what degree, I don't know. But I am not a fan of capitalism. It's just, I'm not. I don't like this shit. I don't like everyone having to vie and need and beg and crawl and hurt others for money. That's just, come on. Come on. You know? And feudalism, yeah, no, you don't see it. And you're right, it was replaced by the next thing. You have to change. People have to change. So capitalism got us greatness, but then it became corrupted. It became abusive. And people took advantage, because that's what people do. The human animal will take advantage of anything and turn it into some bullshit. So positive people will have to honestly rule with an iron fist to make sure stupid shit don't happen. That's really what goes on. People want to be led. Watch Gordon Ramsay's 24 Hours to Hell and Back. Watch that shit. He's popular. He's famous. So because he's popular, he's famous and rich, he's respected. That's fucked up. Honestly, he should just be respected because he's a person in general. But it's the level of respect that's bothersome. When we watch a show and it's funny, but he goes into a place. He says, everyone stop eating. And they stop. Now, granted, if I was there, I would probably stop eating too. Why? Because if someone tells me to stop eating, I'm going to look up and figure out they need to say something. And then he'll talk about how it's disgusting food. You shouldn't pay for this. You shouldn't eat this. And everyone's like, already know that it's bad food, but where else you going to go? That's kind of where we are now in society. We're fucked, but where you going to go? And that's a jacked up way and a jacked up reason to keep people where they are. Honestly, that's not just a hostage. It's slavery, basically. It's slavery on a massive scale. Where's you going to go? Get to work. That's all they espouse in this country. Get to work. Work. Go work. Work. Get to work. Oh, go send the jobs away, so you better find another job or 2 or 3. Goddamn, you're lazy. You're working 2 or 3 jobs. You're lazy because if you weren't lazy, you'd be able to support yourself and your family. Man, I'll be honest with you. If that don't piss you off, then what the fuck? Not you, Jimmy, just in general. In general, you, the people. So yeah, and then Gordon leads these people. He says, "Follow me." They all follow him out of the restaurant to his truck, and he gets these people to stand outside and watch the video playback of the stuff that he's found, and everyone's all embarrassed or they don't care or something like that. That's what goes on. But he gets them to follow. That's amazing. You know, it's too much. Watch John Oliver's his last week tonight on churches. Just put John Oliver churches and watch that. You know, that's really telling. So that's how I see it. I think I'm just socialist, but to what degree I don't know. I just don't like capitalism. Now the next thing you said is, and I'm probably going to stop it short. I don't know. Yeah, I get it. You're old school. You grew up on. It says grow up on state propaganda. I mean, I think you meant grew up, and you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. I mean, you made a judgment without even trying to understand. You're wrong. I'm not old school. I was rejected by the old school. No one liked me. No one liked me. I was told by a few people I was on an honor system that nobody else is on, so I'm going to always be alone. I mean, I had to ask my mom one day, and I was just like, what is it that you don't like about me? She says, nobody thinks like you. That's why. And I'm like, shit. And that taught me, if you think like the collective, then you're okay. And I wasn't going to be religious. I wasn't going to sit there and hate me because I'm not doing what they want me to do. I wasn't going to do that. I'm old school. Hell, I don't even really know what old school is. All I've ever wanted to do is just draw, be by myself, learn astronomy, and eventually collect Transformers when I got to that. Yeah, that was all before I was 10. And then when I was 10, I wanted to, collect Transformers, go by He-Man, and chill. In school, I wanted to learn drafting as well as the other things. But people rejected me. I never knew them, but they all knew me. I never knew. I can't be old school. I was rejected by every level of old school. All I ever thought was, why can't people get along? Why can't we just help each other? Why can't somebody support somebody just because it's the right thing to do? Why can't relationships sustain with emotion and respect? Why does it have to be money? That's where I was. And state propaganda, I have no idea. And I live in North Carolina. It's burgundy as fuck. It's burgundy as fuck. But I wouldn't have known that growing up as a kid. Nope. Not at all. And listening to the news, all I would hear is basically, as I've said in other videos, black people like to cause violence and mayhem and kill and ravage and form gangs. And white people are holier than thou, and they are being disturbed and pushed out of their neighborhoods. That's what I heard growing up from Fox News. That's just a nutshell of everything. And it was really hard for me to not believe such things because of the example of black people fucking me up. That's really what happened. And it got to the point, if it weren't for white people being racist towards me, I would definitely just straight up be hating black people only. But I'm like, everybody's a fucking dickhead. Nobody likes me, no matter how nice I am to them, no matter what I give them of me, no matter how passive I am, no matter how accepting of their insults I am. It didn't matter. It never mattered. So I hated people in general. Anyone that espoused Republican or Democrat, I said, fuck them. And it took a long time before I was able to understand that at the time there was a difference. There was a time, and my friend in Nevada, and my co-host Sidra, they both explained to me, basically Sidra mostly explained to me that if you're a Republican, then you want things to stay the same and you want the wealthy to have all the money. And if you're a Democrat, you want to push forward and you want to pay less money in taxes. So if you're Democrat, you pay less taxes. If you're Republican, you'll pay less taxes if you're wealthy. So I was like, well, shit, that makes it simple for me, Democrat. And over time, even though I didn't vote for them, I thought Clinton did well. I didn't understand his 3 strikes rule, but I did listen to it. And I'm like, something ain't right with this. Because he did 3 strikes rule, but why only black people going to prison? I didn't know about the Hillary Clinton super predator thing until she was running for president this time. It didn't come up last time. So I'm like, to me, I was never old school. I'm just in a school. I'm just learning. As I grow, as I go, I'm just learning. And I never believed capitalism was the end all be all. I thought communism was bad only because it was associated with Russia. And they was telling how Russia was the big red machine when it wasn't Russia, it was Germany that took over Russia and used Russia in part of their war, and thus all this other crap as Russia fought back and was used depending upon where they were. And the United States was like, we're going to be, France and stay out of it as much as we can and be little cowards. And then when Japan attacked, then the United States is like, oh man, now we got to fight back. Now you stirred up a hornet's nest. So then we fight back. Then we get into the war. Yay. So yeah, I started learning then that this is all bullshit. And I'm not a part of anything. And I was fine with that. So I can't be old school because old school didn't like me. I was probably ahead of my time. And I'm probably ahead of this time, but when it comes to information on deep subjects, I'm far behind. So morally speaking, I don't like to use that term, morally speaking, I'm way ahead of a lot of people. Probably to a fault. I think that's where that goes. Politically, I am, how can I say, information wise, I am dated. When it comes to principles, policies, things that I think would help the people, I am far ahead. And the reason I say far ahead is because if I hear something, it's a universal health care, and it was all like, no, that's terrible, that's terrible, that's terrible. And then when I'm hearing one side, then I listen to the other side. It's like, well, universal health care, this country does it, that country does it, it gives you this, and then it's like, okay, that's a good selling point, and you know what? I think we should use that. And then you hear something like, this plane costs $1 trillion. And universal health care would be in the, 100 billions, maybe less, or something like that. So in those type of comparisons, I'm not being accurate, but in those comparisons, I'm like, so you spend all this money for a plane, but you can't do universal health care. Why would you not want to do universal health care? And if a capitalist doesn't want to do something, it's probably the right thing to do. That's what I also learned. So I guess I'm just running out of stuff. I'm just almost blabbering. But I just wanted to give you full nuance, context, and all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm old school. No, not even close. Not even close. My dad would walk up and down the hall just to look at me and sigh. I mean, come on. He did not like the way I thought. He did not like the fact that I used logic and reason. I mean, he's a respiratory assistant doctor. What was. He's retired due to injuries and other stuff. But, yeah. And my mom was head of the IV team of nursing. So, and she was also against that. So, yeah. That's where I was. That's pretty much how my life was. not going deep into nuance in certain things, but yeah, that should paint a good enough picture. And where they were middle class with no money, high middle class with no money. Yeah, go figure that. So that's where I am. That's what it is. I think you judged me wrong. And if you think you did judge me right, saying I'm old school, and grew up on state propaganda, then I would like for you to give me a reason why you believe that. Because you definitely, I don't think you know it, but you definitely believe it. And man, if you've changed your mind, good. Because damn, I'm not. I'm not old school. I've seen old school. Just keep it the way it is. Don't change shit. Nah, I'm better than that. And I'm better than them. Always better than them. And when I get older, I'm not going to be stuck anywhere. I will always evolve. I have to. I can't live. When I die, I want to be able to at least say, I didn't lie to myself and I didn't bullshit myself. And I didn't bullshit anyone else. That's what I want. I at least can take that with me, can't I? And I think that's one of the best honorable things I can do. So this is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.